Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video, we're going to look at the video solutions to the perimeter practice questions. If you need any extra help in perimeter, if you go to corbettmaths.com/contents and scroll down to video number 241, there's a dedicated video tutorial there on finding the perimeter of shapes. Alternatively, you could scan this QR code. But in this video, we're going to focus on the video solutions to the practice questions, so let's get started. So question number one. Question number one, we've been given a rectangle. We've got this rectangle. We've got the length of the rectangle is 6 centimeters and the width of the rectangle is 2 centimeters. And we've been asked to work out the perimeter of the rectangle and to include suitable units. So remember, to find the perimeter of a shape, we find the distance around the outside of the shape. So if we start here, we would do 6 centimeters plus 2 centimeters plus another 6 centimeters, because obviously if this is 6 centimeters, this length down here would be 6 centimeters, and then plus another 2 centimeters. So to find the perimeter of this rectangle, we just need to do 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2. So let's do that. 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2. So 6 plus 2 is equal to 8, plus 6 is equal to 14, plus 2 is equal to 16. So the perimeter of this shape would be 16 centimeters. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 16 centimeters, and the units would be centimeters, and that's it. So the answer would be 16 centimeters, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 2. So question number 2 says, shown below is a square. So we've got this square, and obviously with a square, all the sides have got the same length. So if the length of the top here is 3 centimeters, the length of the right hand side would be 3 centimeters. The length of the base would be 3 centimeters. The length of the left hand side would be 3 centimeters. And we've been asked to work out the perimeter of the square and to include suitable units. So we just need to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6, plus 3 is equal to 9, plus 3 is equal to 12. So the perimeter of this square would be 12 centimeters. Now in this one, we could have just done 3 multiplied by 4, because obviously the length of each side is 3 centimeters and there's 4 sides. So 4 times 3 would be 12 centimeters also. But I've just done 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, and that's 12 centimeters as well. So the answer is 12, and we've been asked to give suitable units, so those would be centimeters. And that's it, so 12 centimeters. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 3. So question number 3, we've been given an equilateral triangle. So we've got this equilateral triangle. Remember, an equilateral triangle is a triangle where all the sides are the same length. So if the length of the base is 7 millimeters, the length of this left hand side would be 7 millimeters. The length of the right hand side would be 7 millimeters as well. And we've been asked to work out the perimeter of the triangle. So to find the perimeter of this triangle, we just need to do 7 plus 7 plus 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 7 is 21. So it'd be 21 millimeters. And that's it. The perimeter of this equilateral triangle is 21 millimeters. Remember, because obviously it's an equilateral triangle, all the sides are the same length, so we could have just taken the length of one side, which is 7, and multiplied that by 3, and 7 times 3 is 21 as well. So the perimeter of this shape, this triangle, is 21 millimeters. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 4. So question number 4 says a rectangle has got a perimeter of 32 centimeters. So the distance around the outside of the rectangle is 32 centimeters. I've been asked to write down a possible pair of values for its length and its width. So I've just drawn this little sketch of a rectangle, and we want to find possible values for its length and its width. And we need to make sure the distance around the outside adds together to be 32 centimeters. So if the length of the rectangle was 10 centimeters, well, that means the top would be 10 centimeters and the bottom would be 10 centimeters. Now 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. Now we want it to add up to be 32, so we need another 12, so that'll be 6 centimeters for the right hand side and 6 centimeters for the left hand side. And let's just check that. 10 plus 6 is 16, plus 10 would be equal to 26, plus 6 would be 32. And that means that that rectangle would have a perimeter of 32 centimeters. So the length of the rectangle would be 10 centimeters, and the width of the rectangle would be 6 centimeters. Now obviously there's loads of different possible solutions you could choose here. We could draw another rectangle. Let's draw another one. And I've made this one a bit longer, so let's say the length here just says equal to 15 centimeters. So if that was 15 centimeters, the base of it would be 15 centimeters. 15 plus 15 is equal to 30. We need another 2 centimeters, so that'd be 1 centimeter there and 1 centimeter there. So that's another possible rectangle with a length of 15 centimeters and a width of 1 centimeter. Let's just check that. 15 plus 1 is 16, plus 15 is 31, plus 1 is 32. So the perimeter of that rectangle is 32 centimeters as well. So these are two possible solutions, 10 centimeters and 6 centimeters, or 15 centimeters and 1 centimeter. As long as your length and width add together to be half of this, which is 16 centimeters. So as you can see here, 10 plus 6 is equal to 16, and then another 6 16 is 32. On this one, we've got 15 plus 1, 16, and another 16 would be 32. So as long as the length and the width add together to be 16, then that means the perimeter would be equal to 32 centimeters. So you could have 13 and 3, or 14 and 2. You could even have 10.5 and 5.5, and so on. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 5. So question number 5 says a rectangle has got a perimeter of 20 centimeters. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 20 centimeters, and we've been asked to write down a possible pair of values for its length and its width. So similar to the last question. Now, because we know the perimeter adds together to be 20 centimeters, so the distance around the rectangle is 20 centimeters, as long as the length and the width add together to be half of that, which is 10 centimeters, that will work. So for instance, if we have 7 centimeters and 3 centimeters, well, that means if the top 7, the bottom 7. If the right hand side is 3 centimeters, the left hand side will be 3 centimeters. And let's just check that. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 3 is 20. And that means that the rectangle has got a perimeter of 20 centimeters. So that means that a rectangle with a length of 7 centimeters and a width of 3 centimeters would have a perimeter of 20 centimeters whenever you add up the distances around the outside of the rectangle. So the distance around the outside of that rectangle would be 20 centimeters. Now, as long as your length and width add together to be 10 centimeters, then that means that the perimeter will be 20, because obviously 8 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2 would be 20, or 9 plus 1 and 9 plus 1 would be equal to 20. You can even have 5.5 and 4.5, 5.5 and 4.5, and so on. As long as whenever you add up the distances around the outside of the rectangle, you get 20 centimeters, that's perfect. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 6. So question number 6 says, shown below is an isosceles triangle. And we can see this is an isosceles triangle because we've got these two little lines here and here. So that's saying that this side has got the same length as this side. So if this side has got, the right hand side has got a length of 9 centimeters, the left hand side would have a length of 9 centimeters, and the base is obviously 4 centimeters. And we've been asked to find the perimeter of the triangle. So as I said, it's an isosceles triangle. Two sides have got the same length, so 9 centimeters and 9 centimeters. So if we do 9 plus 9 plus 4, we can find the perimeter, the distance around the outside of this triangle. So 9 plus 9 is equal to 18, plus 4 is equal to 22. So the perimeter of this triangle is 22 centimeters. And let's just check that. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 4 is 22. So the perimeter of this triangle is 22 centimeters. So 22 centimeters. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 7. So we've got this compound shape, this L shape, and we've got some of the measurements. We've got 8 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 3 centimeters. We don't know the length of this side here, this bit here. We don't know the length of this part, and we've got this bit here is 3 centimeters. So if we want to find the perimeter around the outside of this shape, I'm going to find these two measurements, this length here and this length here. Now let's consider the horizontal lines. The whole width of the shape is 7 centimeters, and this part is 3 centimeters. So that means that this length plus this length, the 3 centimeters plus whatever length this is, has to be equal to 7 centimeters. So if this is 3 centimeters, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So that means that this distance from here to here would be 4 centimeters. Now let's consider the vertical lines. The height of the whole shape is 8 centimeters. Now if this part is 3 centimeters, that means that this length here must be 5 centimeters, because 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Now we know the lengths of each of the sides, we can add them together to find the perimeter of this shape. So let's do 8 plus 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3. So 8 plus 7 is equal to 15, plus 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22, plus 5 will be equal to 27, plus 3 is equal to 30. So that means that the perimeter of the shape is 30 centimeters. And that's it. So the perimeter of the shape is 30 centimeters. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 8. So we've got this shape and we've been asked to find the perimeter of the shape. So let's find the lengths of the missing sides. So let's consider the vertical lines. So the whole height of the shape, well, we don't know that, but we know that this line is 4 centimeters and this line is 2 centimeters. Well, 4 plus 2 is equal to 6. So that means the height of the whole shape is 6 centimeters. So that's 6 centimeters. Now in terms of the horizontal lines, the width for the whole shape is 9 centimeters. This part is 5 centimeters. Well, this length plus 5 will have to be equal to 9. So 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. So this would be 4 centimeters. So we've got 4 centimeters plus 5 centimeters is 9 centimeters. So the length of this part is 4 centimeters and the height of the whole shape is 6 centimeters. Now we need to find its perimeter. So let's find the distance around the outside of the shape. So we've got 9 centimeters, 9 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6. And that will give us the perimeter of the shape. So 9 plus 2 is equal to 11, plus 5 is 16, plus 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24, plus 6 is 30. So that is 30 centimeters. So the perimeter of this shape is 30 centimeters. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 9. So question number 9, we've been given this rectangle and we've been asked to work out the perimeter of this rectangle. Now we need to be careful here because the length of the rectangle is 4 meters or 400 centimeters. Remember, there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So if there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, there's going to be 400 centimeters in 4 meters. And the width of the rectangle is 20 centimeters. And we've been asked to find the perimeter in centimeters. So if the length of this side is 400 centimeters or 4 meters, the length of the opposite side, this side, would be the same. So it's going to be 400 centimeters as well. If the length of this part is 20 centimeters, the length of this part would also be 20 centimeters. And now we can find the perimeter of this rectangle. So we're going to do 20 plus 400 plus 20 plus 400. So 400 plus 400 is 800. Plus 20 would be 820, plus 20 is 840, so it's 840 centimetres. And the question says to give our answer in centimetres, so our answer would be 840 centimetres. If we were asked to give our answer in metres, it would be 8.4 metres, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 10. So question number 10, we've been given this parallelogram, and we're told the perimeter of the parallelogram is 17 centimetres. So the distance around the outside of this parallelogram is 17 centimetres. And remember, parallelograms are pushed over rectangles, so the opposite sides have got the same length as each other. So this length would be the same as this length, and this length would be the same as that length. And I said the length of each long side is 5 centimetres. So that means the length of the top is 5 centimetres, and the length of the bottom is 5 centimetres. And we've been asked to work out the length of each short side. So we want to find the length of each one of these short sides. So let's find the perimeter of the whole shape. So the perimeter of the whole shape is 17 centimetres. So if we do 5 plus 5, well, 5 plus 5 is equal to 10 centimetres. So the length of the top and the bottom is 10 centimetres. If we now take that away from 17, the perimeter of the whole shape, we do 17 take away 10, that'll tell us what the left-hand side and the right-hand side must add up together to be. So 17 take away 10 is equal to 7 centimetres. So that means the sum of the length of the left-hand side and the right-hand side will be 7 centimetres. And that makes sense because 5 plus 5 is 10, and then we need to add 7 to give us our 17 centimetres. Now that's the length of that side plus that side. Now they're both the same size, so if we divide this by 2, if we do 7 divided by 2, that'll tell us the length of each one of these sides. So 7 divided by 2 is equal to, well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, so this would be 7 divided by 2 would be 3.5. So that means the length of each one of these sides, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, would be 3.5 centimetres. So 3.5 centimetres and 3.5 centimetres. And let's just check that. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Plus 3.5 would be 13.5, plus another 3.5 would be 17 centimetres. So the length of each short side is 3.5 centimetres, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 11. So question number 11 says the perimeter of the rectangle and the square are the same. So these two shapes have got the same perimeter, and then we've been asked to find the width of the rectangle. So we want to find the length of this side here. So let's start off by looking at the square. So remember, a square, all the sides have got the same length. So that means that the right hand side would be 11 centimetres, the length of the base would be 11 centimetres, and the length of the left hand side would be 11 centimetres. And if we do 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11, that's going to be equal to 44 centimetres. And also remember, we could just do 11 multiplied by 4, which is 44. So that's 44 centimetres. So that means the perimeter of the square is 44 centimetres. Now let's look at the rectangle. So the length of the top is 15 centimetres. That means the length of the base would be 15 centimetres. And 15 plus 15 is equal to 30. So 15 plus 15 is equal to 30 centimetres. Now the whole perimeter is 44. So if we do 44 take away 30, that's equal to 14 centimetres. That means that there's 14 centimetres left for the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And as this is a rectangle, we know that the lengths of the opposite sides are equal to each other. So because we know the left-hand side plus the right-hand side add together to be 14 centimetres, if we do 14 divided by 2, that's equal to 7. So that means the width of the rectangle must be 7 centimetres. So 7 centimetres and 7 centimetres. And let's just check that. 15 plus 15 is equal to 30, plus 7 is equal to 37, plus 7 is equal to 44. So that means the perimeter of the rectangle is 44 centimetres. And if we have a look at the square, well, 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 is 44 centimetres. So the perimeter of the square and the rectangle are equal to each other, and we'll find the width of the rectangle must be 7 centimetres, and that's it, so 7 centimetres. Okay, let's have a look at question number 12. So question number 12 says the length of a rectangle is 13.6 centimetres, as we can see, and we're told the perimeter of the rectangle is 37.8 centimetres, and we've been asked to calculate the width of the rectangle. Now, this is a calculator question. Now, if we know that the length of it is 13.6 centimetres, that means the length of the top and the bottom are both 13.6 centimetres. Now, if we add those two distances together, those two lengths together, that'll tell us the combined length of the top and the bottom. Then we can take that away from the perimeter to see what's left for the two sides. So it's a calculator question, so we can do 13.6 plus 13.6, and that's going to be equal to 27.2 off the top of my head. Yep, 27.2 centimetres. That means the length of the top and the bottom is 27.2 centimetres. Now if we take that away from the perimeter of the whole rectangle, that'll tell us what's left for the two sides. So 37.8 subtract 27.2 is equal to 10.6 centimetres. So that means that the length of the left hand side and the right hand side together must be 10.6 centimetres. Now if we divide that by 2, if we do 10.6 divided by 2, that's equal to 5.3. So that means that the length of the left hand side must be 5.3 centimetres, and the length of the left hand side would be equal to 5.3 centimetres. And let's just check our answer. If we do 13.6 plus 5.3 plus 13.6 plus 5.3, that's equal to 37.8 centimetres, and that's it. So the width of the rectangle is 5.3 centimetres, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 13. So question number 13, we've got ABC is an isosceles triangle, and the perimeter of ABC is 70 centimetres. So the perimeter of this triangle is 70 centimetres, and we've been asked to work out the length of AC. Now it's a calculator question, so that's quite nice. Now we know the length of the base is 16.3 centimetres, and the length of the left hand side and the right hand side are equal to each other because they've got those two little dashes. So AC is the same length as BC. So if we take 16.3 away from 70, that'll tell us what's left for the left hand side and the right hand side. So 70 take away 16.3. So on our calculator, 70 take away 16.3 is equal to 53.7 centimetres. So that means that whenever we add up our left hand side and our right hand side, they're equal to 53.7 centimetres, and then when we add on the base we get the 70 centimetres. Now if we know the left hand side plus the right hand side is 53.7 centimetres, if we want to find the length of one of them, AC, we just need to do 53.7 divided by 2. And when we divide by 2, that's equal to 26.85 centimetres. So that means the length of AC is 26.85 centimetres, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 14. So question number 14 says the regular hexagon, this regular hexagon is drawn accurately. So it's been drawn accurately, and we've been asked to find the perimeter of the hexagon. Now it's a regular hexagon, that means all the lengths have got the same size, so the length of this side and 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 this side are all the same. And it's been drawn accurately, so you just need to get your ruler and measure the length of one of the sides. Now depending on how you've printed this off, whether it's been printed on A4 or whether you've got 2 pages per sheet and so on, it may change obviously. So whenever I measured this on paper, whenever I printed on A4, I got that was equal to 2.5 centimetres. That's the distance to the length of this side is 2.5 centimetres whenever I've measured it on A4. Now that may be different on your paper, so make sure you get your ruler and you measure it accurately. Maybe 2.6 or 2.4. It may be completely different, perhaps if you've got it enlarged and so on. So I've measured the length of this side to be 2.5 centimetres. That means the length of the top is 2.5, the length of this side is 2.5, this side's 2.5, and so on. Now what we could do is we could do 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 and add 6 of them together, or we could just do 2.5 multiplied by 6, and we could multiply and see what we get. So 6 times 5 is equal to 30, put the 0 down and carry the 3, and 6 times 2 is equal to 12, plus 3 is 15. So that means that whenever we do 2.5 multiplied by 6, that's equal to 15, or 15 centimetres. So that means the perimeter of this regular hexagon is 15 centimetres. Likewise, you could have done 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 and so on, and you would have got 15 centimetres as well. Now again, in this question, it depends on, obviously, whenever you've printed it, the size of your regular hexagon. Whenever I've printed it, I've got 2.5 centimetres, but it may obviously be slightly different for you, and that means then your final answer will be different. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 15. Okay, question number 15 says a square is shown below. So we've got this square. I've been asked to write an expression for the perimeter of the square. So the length at the top of the square is 3x minus 2. Now because this is a square, all the sides have got the same length. So that means the right hand side would be 3x minus 2, the bottom would be 3x minus 2, and the left hand side would be 3x minus 2. So let's find the perimeter of the square. So whenever we're collecting like terms here, I deal with the x's first of all. So 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3x, well 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12, so that'll be 12x. And then we've got minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Well, minus 2, take away another 2 will be minus 4, take away another 2 will be minus 6, and take away another 2 will be minus 8. So that means that whenever we find the perimeter of this square, the answer would be 12x minus 8. So 12x minus 8, and that's it. So the perimeter of this square is 12x minus 8. And just to recap, because it's a square, all the sides have got the same length. So if the top's 3x minus 2, all the sides are 3x minus 2. And then I've dealt with the x's first of all, 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3x. x is 12x. And then we've got minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. That'll be minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8. So the perimeter of this square is 12x minus 8. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 16. So question number 16 says, shown below is an equilateral triangle with side length 6 centimeters. So that means that each of the sides has got a length of 6 centimeters because it's an equilateral triangle. All the sides have got the same length. And we've been asked to find the perimeter of the triangle, so we just need to do 6 plus 6 plus 6. And 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, so it is 18 centimeters. So the perimeter of the triangle is 18 centimeters. Now, if we go down, it says 3 equilateral triangles with a side length of 6 centimeters. So each of these equilateral triangles, each have got a side length of 6 centimeters, and they've been put together to make one larger shape. It looks like a trapezium. Obviously, you've got the top is parallel to the bottom, and it's a 4-sided shape. And Jemima says the perimeter of the larger shape, so the perimeter of this shape, will be 3 times the perimeter of one of the triangles. Explain why Jemima is wrong. Well, I can see straight away that it's not going to be. The perimeter of this shape isn't going to be 3 times the perimeter of one of the triangles because, as you can see, whenever you join the two of them up, this triangle and this triangle, and obviously this one as well, some of the sides are now inside of the shape. So the perimeter of this whole shape, I think, will be smaller than 3 times the perimeter of one of the triangles. And let's just check it and see. So the perimeter of one of the triangles was 18 centimeters. If we do 18 multiplied by 3, 3 times 8 is equal to 24. Put our 4 down, carry our 2. And 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Now, if Jemima is right, the perimeter of this shape will be 54 centimeters because the perimeter of one of the triangles was 18 centimeters. And if we times that by 3, that's 54 centimeters. So Jemima is saying the perimeter of this shape will be 54 centimeters. Well, let's check it out and see. So each one of the sides has got a length of 6 centimeters. That's 6 centimeters. That's 6 centimeters from here to here. From here to here is 6 centimeters. From here to here is 6 centimeters. And from here to here is 6 centimeters. Now, if we want to find the perimeter of this larger shape, we're not going to be using these sides or these sides because obviously they're being joined together inside of the shape. So let's find the perimeter of the shape. So it's going to be 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is equal to 30 centimeters. So the perimeter of this larger shape is only 30 centimeters. And that's definitely not 3 times larger than the perimeter of one of the smaller triangles. And that's it. So explain why Jemima is incorrect. Well, let's do that. Okay, so I've just written down the perimeter of the larger shape is equal to 30 centimeters, and 3 times the perimeter of one triangle is 54 centimeters, so therefore Jemima is wrong. And the reason is the sides labelled with stars, this side, this side, this side, and this side, are inside the larger shape, so they're not included in the calculation for its perimeter. So that's it, so Jemima is incorrect. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 17. So question number 17, we've got this shape, and part A says name the shape above. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So it's a hexagon. So it's an irregular hexagon or a hexagon. And part B says find the perimeter of the shape. So we just need to add together the lengths of the sides. So it's going to be 11 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8. And let's work that out and see what we get. So 11 plus 9 is 20, plus 9 is 29, plus 5 is 34, plus 8 is 42, plus 8 is 50. So I've got the perimeter of the shape to be 50 centimeters. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at part C. So part C says the diagram shows a regular pentagon. So we've got this regular pentagon, a regular 5-sided shape, and it's regular, so that means that all the sides are the same length. And we're told the perimeter of the pentagon is equal to the perimeter of the shape above. So the shape above had a perimeter of 50 centimeters. So that means the perimeter of this, the perimeter is equal to 50 centimeters. And we've been asked to work out the length of one side of the pentagon. Now, obviously, it's a 5-sided shape and it's regular. That means they've all got the same length. So if we just take our 50 and divide it by 5, 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10. So that means the length of each side is 10 centimeters. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 18. So question number 18 says, shown below is a regular pentagon and a regular octagon. And this is a calculator question, so that's quite nice. And we're told the perimeter of the pentagon is equal to the perimeter of the octagon, and we've been asked to find x. So let's find the perimeter of the pentagon to begin with. So it's a regular pentagon. That means each of the sides have got the same length. So it's going to be 28 centimeters, 28 centimeters, 28 centimeters, and so on. And if we take our 28 centimeters and we multiply that by 5, that'll tell us the perimeter of the pentagon. And as I said, it's a calculator question. So if we do 28 multiplied by 5, that's equal to 140 centimeters. So that means the perimeter of the pentagon is 140 centimeters. That means the perimeter of the octagon is 140 centimeters also, because we're told that they're equal. Now, the octagon has got 8 sides. It's a regular octagon, and each of the sides have got the same length. So if we do 140 divided by 8, that'll tell us the length of each side of the regular octagon. So 140 divided by 8 is equal to 17.5 centimeters. So find x, the length of this side, that's going to be 17.5 centimeters, and that's it. Okay, so question number 19. So question number 19 says, below is a tabletop. So we've got this tabletop and it's a rectangle. And we're told the length of the table is 40 centimeters more than the width of the table. And we're told the perimeter of the table is 4.2 meters, and to find the length and the width of the table. And if we have a look at the answer sections, we can see that they're in centimeters. So I'm going to change the 4.2 meters into 420 centimeters, because obviously in the answer section, we've got that's in centimeters. And we're told that the length of it is 40 centimeters more than the width of it. That's all that we're told. So I'm going to call the width of the rectangle, or the width of the table, x centimeters, and the length of it is 40 centimeters more. So that's going to be, adding 40 to this would be x plus 40, 40 more. So we now know that the width is x centimeters, so that's going to be x there and x there, and the length of the table will be x plus 40 centimeters. That's 40 centimeters longer than the width. So we've got expressions for the sides. Now let's add them together to find the perimeter of this rectangle. So x plus x plus x plus x is 4x, so that's going to be 4x. And then we've got 40 plus 40, that's equal to 80, so plus 80. So we've got the perimeter of this table is 4x plus 80 centimeters. Now we know the perimeter of the table is 420 centimeters. So now we've got an equation. We can write 4x plus 80 is equal to 420. And if we solve this equation, we can find out what x is, and then we know then what the width is, and then we can find the length, and then we're done. So let's solve this equation. Now to solve an equation, we want to find the x on its own. We've got 4x plus 80. So let's get rid of the plus 80 to begin with. So let's take away 80 and take away 80. And I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. So 4x plus 80, take away the 80, would just be 4x. And on the right hand side of the equation, we had 420, take away 80 would be 340. So we now know that 4x is 340 centimeters. Now we don't want to know what 4x is, we want to know what x is, 1x. So we now need to divide by 4 and divide by 4. So 4x's divided by 4 would be 1x, or just x. And on the right hand side, 340 divided by 4, well, 340 divided by 4 is equal to 85 centimeters. So it means that x is 85 centimeters. That means that the right hand side here, the width of the rectangle, is 85 centimeters. And the length of the rectangle, well, it's 40 centimeters more. So if we do 85 plus 40, that's equal to 125. So it means the length of the rectangle is 125 centimeters. So that means obviously, and this, it's a table, so that means that the length of the table is 125 centimeters and the width of the table is 85 centimeters. That's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 20. So question number 20 says, 3 regular hexagons are put together to make a larger shape. So we've got this regular hexagon here, another regular hexagon, another regular hexagon. And it actually reminds me of the Giant's Causeway. If you ever go to the Giant's Causeway in the north coast of Northern Ireland, it's a fantastic place to go. And you've got these, I think they're basalt columns. You've got these hexagonal columns, and they all join together, and you can run around them, and it's great fun. But we've got, sorry, just gone off on a tangent now. So we've got these hexagons, and we have got their regular hexagons, and the perimeter of one of the regular hexagons is 18 centimeters. So remember, the hexagon has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So if we take our 18 centimeters and we divide that by 6, that's equal to 3 centimeters. So that means that the length of each side is 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and so on. And we've been asked to find the perimeter of the larger shape, so I'm just going to write down the 3 centimeters going around the outside of the shape. I'm not going to write down the lengths here because they're inside of the larger shape. So 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 3 centimeters, and actually one more, 3 centimeters there. So if we start here, we've got 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 and so on, or we can just count them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 threes. So if we do 12 multiplied by 3, that's equal to 36. So that means the perimeter of this larger shape would be 36 centimeters, and that's it. So 36 centimeters, 36 centimeters. And in this question, just to point out, you couldn't take the perimeter of one of the regular hexagons, which is 18, and multiply that by 3, because remember, we've joined them together, so some of the sides are not inside of the shape, so they wouldn't actually count towards the perimeter of the larger shape. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 21. So question number 21 says, Mr. Jones is a chicken farmer, and we've got this picture, and it's a fence around a chicken enclosure. And we've got this chicken enclosure, and we've got 12 meters, 5 meters, 8 meters, 6 meters, and then two measurements we don't know yet. Actually, let's work them out. We've got 5 and 6, so this vertical line is 5, this vertical line is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11, so that means this distance would be 11 meters. And if the whole width of the chicken enclosure is 12 meters, and that's equal to 8 meters. 12 take away 8 is 4, so this must be 4 meters here. And we're told, if we have a look at the question, he wants to build a new fence around the chicken enclosure, and each meter of fencing will cost him $7.99. Work out the cost of the new fence. So if we find the perimeter of the chicken enclosure, we then just need to multiply it by $7.99, and that'll be the cost. So let's find the perimeter, and it's a calculator question. That's great. So we can do 12 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 11 on our calculator and see what we get. So 12 plus 5 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 11 is equal to 46 meters. So there's 46 meters of fencing needed, and each meter costs $7.99. So if we do 46 multiplied by $7.99, that'll be the cost of the new fence. So multiplied by $7.99 is equal to £367.54. So the cost of the new fence is £367.54, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 22. So question number 22 says, shown below is a scale drawn of a field. So we've got the scale drawn now, and we've got the scale that 1 centimeter represents 200 meters. Now I've printed this off on an A4 piece of paper, and the measurements that I've got whenever I've measured them are 11 centimeters and 3.2 centimeters. Your measurements may be slightly different depending on whether my printer scaled it or your printer scaled the printing, or whether you've got 2 pages per sheet or something like that. So just be aware that our measurements may be slightly different, but the technique will still be the same. So the length of the rectangle or the field or the scale drawn is 11 centimeters. That means that the bottom will be 11 centimeters and the left hand side will be 3.2 centimeters, because obviously the opposite sides of a rectangle have the same length. And the question says find the perimeter of the field. There's a couple of ways we can do this. One way we could do it is to add these together, the 11 centimeters, the 3.2 centimeters, the 11 centimeters and the 3.2 centimeters, and see how many centimeters that is in total, and then use the fact that every centimeter is 200 meters, and then work out the perimeter of the whole field. Alternatively, you could change these into meters to begin with, so we could multiply this by 200 and change it into meters and so on, and we could do it that way. I'm going to use both approaches just to show that they both work. So first of all, one approach is to find the perimeter of the rectangle. So 11 plus 3.2 plus 11 plus 3.2 is equal to 28.4 centimeters. So that's the perimeter of this rectangle. 11 plus 3.2 plus 11 plus 3.2 is 28.4 centimeters. Now each centimeter is 200 meters. So if we take our 28.4 and multiply that by 200, because each centimeter is 200 meters. So if we multiply those, 28.4 multiplied by 200 is equal to 5,680, and now it's meters. So that would be 5,680 meters, or 5.68 kilometers if you want to do it that way, or 5,680 meters, depending on which units you want to give your answer in. And that's it. So that's one approach to find the perimeter of the rectangle to begin with, and then to multiply that by 200 and change it into meters. Another approach, and I'm just going to change into blue ink here, would be to find the lengths in meters to begin with of the field. So we've got 1 centimeter is 200 meters. So if we take our 11 centimeters and we multiply that by 200, so 11 multiplied by 200 is equal to 2,200 meters. So that means the length of the field is 2,200 meters, or 2.2 kilometers. So 2,200 meters is the length of the top and the bottom of the field. In terms of the right hand side and the left hand side, well, each centimeter is 200 meters. So if we do 3.2 multiplied by 200, so 3.2 multiplied by 200 is equal to 640. So that means that the width of the field is 640 meters. So that means if we do 2,200 plus 2,200 plus 640 plus 640, if we just do that on our calculator and see what we get, 5,680 meters, and that's it. So just so you can do that question a few different ways. And also just to remember that whenever you're measuring your rectangle on your page. It may be slightly different in terms of the measurements, but the technique's still the same. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. So question number 23 says a design is made from some identical rectangles, so they're in green, and identical squares, and they are the smaller shapes here, here, and here. And we're told that each rectangle is twice as long as each square, and the perimeter of each square is 22 centimeters, and to calculate the perimeter of the design. So we want to find the perimeter of this design. So we're told the perimeter of each square is 22 centimeters. Now remember, a square has got 4 sides, all the same length. So if we take our 22 centimeters and divide that by 4, that's equal to 22 divided by 4 is equal to 5.5, so that's 5.5 centimeters. So that means the length for each side of the square is 5.5 centimeters. So that's going to be 5.5 centimeters, 5.5 centimeters, 5.5 centimeters, and this one here is 5.5 centimeters. I'm not going to write that down because we want to find the distance around the outside of this design. I'm also going to write 5.5 centimeters there in terms of the length of that square, and 5.5 there centimeters, 5.5 centimeters here, 5.5 centimeters, and 5.5 centimeters. So we've got a lot of the information in terms of finding the perimeter of this design. Now what we really need to do now is find the length of each of the rectangles, and each rectangle is twice as long as each square. So to find the length of this rectangle, we just need to take our 5.5 and multiply by 2, because the length of the rectangle is twice as long as the square. So 5.5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 11. So that means the length of each rectangle is 11 centimeters. That's 11 centimeters, 11 centimeters, 11 centimeters, and 11 centimeters. And that's it. So we've now been asked to find the perimeter of the design. So we now just need to work out the distance around the outside of this design. Now we could write down a big list here and do 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5 plus 5.5 plus 5.5 and so on. One, that's going to take a lot of room. And two, I'm a bit worried that if I do that, I might potentially miss one of those numbers. And if I miss one of them, my whole answer is going to be wrong. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to find the length and the width of this design. So obviously the width is 5.5. So we've got 5.5 and 5.5 for the left hand side and the right hand side. Now let's find the length of the design. So if we do 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5, that'll be the length of the design. So let's do that. 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5 plus 11 plus 5.5, and that's equal to 38.5 centimeters. And we've got 38.5 centimeters, 38.5 centimeters, we've got 5.5 centimeters and 5.5 centimeters. Now we want to find the perimeter of the design, so if we just add those together, that's going to be our answer. So 5.5 plus 38.5 plus 5.5 plus 38.5, and that's equal to 88 centimeters, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 24. So question number 24 says, shown below is square A. So we've got square A. And Noah removes a square from the top of square A and labels the new shape B. So he's taken a square out of A, so he's taken a chunk out of it, and he's now got B. And part A says, which of the following statements is correct? And we've got 3 choices, 1, 2, and 3. And the choices are, the perimeter of B is greater than the perimeter of A, the perimeter of B is equal to the perimeter of A, and the perimeter of B is less than the perimeter of A. Well, let's have a look and see. So we've got A and we've got B, and let's look at the perimeter of A. So we could actually give some measurements here if we wanted to. You know, you could call this 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters, and then here you could say, well, it's 2 centimeters taken out and so on, and you do it that way if you wanted to. I'm just going to do it by looking at it. Now in terms of B, actually, if you have a look at it, because we're starting here and we're going across, then down, and then across, then up, then across, then down, and so on, I believe the perimeter of B is going to be larger than the perimeter of A. Another way to look at it is that if you were to go across here, that'll be the same as going across here, here, and here. Then going down would be this part, going across here would be the same as this bit, and going up here would be the same as going up here. And as you can see, we've got these 2 extra bits here and here, so the perimeter of B is greater than the perimeter of A. And that's it. So which statement is correct? That's going to be statement 1. Okay, let's have a look at our next part. Aoife removes a square from the corner of A. So she removes the square from the corner of A and labels the new shape C. So we've got this new shape C, and we've been given some statements, and they are: the perimeter of C is greater than the perimeter of A, the perimeter of C is equal to the perimeter of A, and the perimeter of C is less than the perimeter of A. Well, this time, if we have a look at it, because it's from the corner, if we were to move this side here and this side up here, you would have a square. So that means that the perimeter of A and the perimeter of C will actually be the same as each other. So for instance, if we were to start here and go across, so this distance here, that would be the same as that distance and that distance. Then if you were to come down this way, then that's obviously the same as that bit. And then if you were to go across here, that's going to be the same as going across there. And then going up here and up here would be the same as going up there. So as you can see, the two perimeters are the same. So that's going to be statement 2. Okay, let's have a look at our next question, question number 25. So question number 25 says, a rectangle's got a perimeter of 18 centimeters, and the rectangle's been enlarged by a scale factor of 3. What's the perimeter of the enlarged rectangle? So I'm just going to do a couple of sketches. So we've got two sketches of two rectangles, and remember, whenever we enlarge a shape, we multiply the lengths of all of the sides by the scale factor. So in this case, it's 3. So we've got a rectangle that's got a perimeter of 18 centimeters. So I'm going to make up a rectangle where I know the perimeter is 18 centimeters. So I'm going to choose 5 centimeters and 4 centimeters and 5 centimeters and 4 centimeters, like so. So 5 centimeters plus 4 centimeters is 9 centimeters, plus 5 centimeters will be equal to 14, plus 4 is equal to 18. So the perimeter of that rectangle is 18 centimeters. Now if we enlarge it by scale factor of 3, well, that means the length now will be, well, 5 times 3 is 15, so it's going to be 15 centimeters. That means the bottom will be 15 centimeters. The right hand side was 4 centimeters. We're multiplying by 3, so it's going to be 12 centimeters, and the left hand side will be 12 centimeters also. So those would be the measurements for the enlarged rectangle. So the perimeter of this one was 18 centimeters, and the perimeter of this one was going to be 15 plus 12 plus 15 plus 12. Well, 15 plus 15 is equal to 30, plus 12 is equal to 42, plus 12 is equal to 54. So the perimeter of the larger rectangle will be 54 centimeters. Now there is an easier way to do that. Because we know it's a rectangle, and if we're enlarging by scale factor of 3, we can just multiply the perimeter by 3. If we just multiply by 3, 18 times 3 is 54. So the perimeter of the larger rectangle will be, 54 centimeters, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our last question, question number 26. So question number 26, we're told that A, B, C, D is a kite. So, and remember, a kite has got two pairs of equal length sides. So as you can see here, AB will be the same length as BC, and AD will be the same length as CD. Remember, a kite has a line of symmetry, so that means that this side will be the same length as this side, and this side will be the same length as that side. And we're told that CD, this length, is 7 centimeters longer than BC. And we're told the perimeter of ABCD, the kite, is 52 centimeters, and we've been asked to work out the length of CD. So we're told that CD is 7 centimeters longer than BC. So let's call BC X. And CD is 7 centimeters longer, so we would add 7 onto X to find the length of this. So we're going to add 7 on, so it's going to be X plus 7. So we now know the lengths of two of the sides. BC is X centimeters and CD is X plus 7 centimeters. Now remember, there's equal length sides, so AB is going to be the same as BC, so it's going to be X, and AD is going to be the same as CD, so it's going to be X plus 7. Now let's add up these expressions to find the perimeter of the shape. So X plus X plus X plus X is 4X. And 7 plus 7 is 14, so plus 14. So the expression for the perimeter of our kite is 4x plus 14. Now we're told the perimeter of the kite is 52 centimeters, so 4x plus 14 is equal to 52. So we've now got an equation. We can solve this and find x, and then we can find the length of CD. So we want to solve this equation, so we want to get the x on its own. So let's get rid of the plus 14 to begin with. So to get rid of plus 14, we're going to need to take away 14 and take away 14. So 4x plus 14, take away the 14, that's just going to be 4x. And on the right hand side, we've got 52, take away 14, that's going to be equal to 38. So we've got 4x is equal to 38. Well, we don't want 4x, we just want to find out what x is. So let's divide by 4 and divide by 4. And 4x divided by 4 would just be x. And 38 divided by 4, well, 38 divided by 4 is equal to 9.5. So 9.5 centimeters. So that means that x, this distance, is 9.5 centimeters. But the question asks us to work out the length of CD, this distance here. So that is equal to x plus 7, so we need to add 7 onto this. So 9.5 plus 7 would be equal to 16.5 centimeters. So the length of CD is 16.5 centimeters. So let's write that down, 16.5 centimeters. And that's it. So these have been the video solutions to the perimeter practice questions on Corbettmaths. If you need any extra help on perimeter, if you go to corbettmaths.com/contents and scroll down to video number 241, there's a dedicated video tutorial there on perimeter. Alternatively, you could scan this QR code. But in this video, we're focused on the video solutions to the practice questions. I really hope you found this video useful. If you have found it useful, please like it and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.